As you may remember, my name is Musa. I'm an attorney licensed in three different states. I've been practicing for almost 25 years, and we have an update for you. As you may be aware, there have been talks about a ceasefire, and it looks like it's about to be here. The ceasefire signals hope for Palestinians after prolonged aggression against them. After months of relentless Israeli bombardment and suffocating blockade that's lasted for decades, Palestinians are seeing a glimmer of hope as negotiations for a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel are finally progressing. The momentum has been going strong, and it looks as though it has come to a culmination. And for Palestinians, this is a potential agreement that is not just a pause in the violence for the civilians, but a chance to breathe again. You have to understand that these people have endured the harshest military campaign since World War II, and the bombs that were dropped on them exceeded all other wars. Keep in mind the resilience of the Palestinian people amid the Israeli aggression. Now, the ceasefire proposal is being brokered by Qatar and Egypt with some U.S. involvement. And this comes after Israel continues devastating attacks and homicidal attacks that have left all of the Gaza infrastructure completely in disarray. Countless families have been displaced. Palestinian leaders have emphasized that any truce must address the root cause of the conflict, which is the Israeli occupation, the ongoing settlement expansion, and the systemic violence of Palestinian people and the absolute abuses of human rights against the Palestinian people. One official said that it's not about just silencing the guns, that it's about restoring dignity to the Palestinian people who have faced decades and decades of oppression. Now, here are the key points to the ceasefire. One, there's a prisoner exchange component. The prisoner exchange component will release what appears to be 33 Israeli hostages, mostly women, children, and elderly individuals, and in return, Israel will release hundreds of prisoners who are detained under Israel's controversial administrative detention program, a policy where people are held indefinitely without charges and without trial. It's a military tribunal where children, women, and innocent people are being held for years. This is a moral victory for the Palestinian people. It's very important to have their people back. The issue is Israel going to comply with this ceasefire, or are they going to release these prisoners and immediately turn around and start shooting them in the back as they've done before? The next component is that of humanitarian relief. The ceasefire includes provisions to allow aid to get into Gaza, a region that is reeling from 16-year blockade. Palestinians view this as a small but necessary step to address the humanitarian crisis which is created by Israel's siege and their absolute genocidal destruction of the region, which has deprived millions of people with basic human rights. And finally, it's believed Israel's agreement is to gradually withdraw troops from Gaza. And this is seen as an acknowledgement that Gaza is Palestinian land for the Palestinian people. This is something that is also a moral victory. On the ground, the Gaza ceasefire deal is met with cautious optimism. I mean, everybody wants peace, but there must be a just peace, and that is the belief of one woman who was interviewed, a mother of four whose home was destroyed in Israel by the Israeli airstrike, said that Israel must be held accountable for their crimes. So many Palestinians believe this, and so many Palestinians believe that this agreement is a testament to their resilience, and it cannot be silenced by blockades, by bombs, by anything else. While the ceasefire is a welcome relief, the struggle continues. Palestinians are skeptical about the Israelis' intentions. Previous ceasefires have been short-lived, with Israel resuming military actions without acknowledging any of the things that they had just agreed to, and they'll go back to it within days. Palestinian leaders want international guarantees. There's only one guarantee that matters, and that's from the United States, and I don't know if they're going to get it or not. This is a good step because right now there's a huge growing pressure to address the underlying issues of the conflict, which are Israel's occupation of the West Bank and Israeli expansion of settlements and the denial of Palestinian self-determination. And now that the world has been exposed to everything that Israel has been doing since the 1930s and before, the pressure is really, really strong. The ceasefire represents a critical step for the Palestinians, but it's not the only step. It's a small step in a much larger struggle. As one Palestinian activist put it, this is not the end of our resistance. It's a pause, a moment to regroup and continue the fight for liberation. For Palestinians, true peace will only come when they are able to live with dignity, when they are able to govern their own sovereign city, and be fully recognized when it comes to the international community, and that Israel be held accountable for its actions. We know the ceasefire has already caused a great deal of strife within the Israeli cabinet itself, as Benjamin Gvir has already said he would resign the moment that the ceasefire deal was signed, and there are still strikes going on by Israel just hours before they're supposed to go forward with the ceasefire. I don't know what's going to happen with the TikTok ban. I heard we're all going to Red Note. If that's the case, let me know in the comments. Please follow me on Instagram or YouTube. There'll be more long-form programming there. I appreciate everyone following me here, and hopefully something will happen that'll keep TikTok around longer. Again, thank you for watching. Please follow. Watch some of my other videos. Let's interact.